Well, good morning troops. Another day, another river, and it's a cold one, -3. The line and the sliding floats are freezing over a little bit. Little bit of ice in the margins. But once again, we're avoiding the floods. Lincolnshire's flooded out. Can't fish anything that I normally fish up there is either flooded or got a lid on it. So again, we've nipped over to Norfolk. The river I was fishing last time has got a lid on it, so out on the big wide open reaches of the Ouse, and we're hoping to find some pike and a bonus sander on the roach dead bait, but pike is the main goal today. It's nice and crisp, as I said. Beautiful morning, glorious. What people would call proper pike weather. I've already seen someone on the far bank working the lures. I'm dead baiting, of course. 3-rod approach. At the moment, I'm concentrating on the margins. Plenty of silverfish topping this morning, though, so that's a good sign. That bodes well. There are prey fish here. The prey fish here, the pike could well be here. They're not going to be very active though, so it's a case of moving the baits on a regular basis, trying to plonk that bait up in front of the pike and get them to take. But as I say, it's a beautiful morning. It's -3, crisp, clear. All you want now for the perfect pike weather. It's a perfect pike dawn. We want a pike. A nice big Fenland River one. Wouldn't it be good, eh? Get a 20 from another venue. But at the moment, I say the silverfish topping. Morning. So we'll crack on and see what we can catch. Well troops, 10 o'clock update. And we had a bit of interest, so it's a bonus on a morning like this. I decided my middle rod was very ineffective as a floating, as a float rig, so changed it up to a static dead ledyard so I could get out a bit further, hold the bottom of the river. The river's moving all right, it's a nice flow to it, but the float was struggling to hold on. So swapped it around to a static dead with a single hook. A smelt, went out about 20-30 metres further out. Had a bite straight away. Got a bit excited, I think I wound down a bit too soon. Nothing on the end of it, but it's interest, so let's come back out more or less the same distance, the same spot, and hopefully that sun gets up and a bit of warmth on the water, they might spring into action. But at the moment, as you would expect, sub-zero temperatures, the pike are not going to be very active and very vigorous and almost violent in their feeding, are they? They're going to be very subdued. They're going to be on the deck. But you keep them baits moving around, you put one in front of them, they'll take it. So we've had a bite. It's put a smile on my face, so we've changed up a bit. So the left hand rod is a paternoster roach on a running water paternoster rig. Middle rod is a static smelt ledyard, 20-30 metres out, probably more, closer to 40. It's about 20 odd foot of water there. And my right hand rod is a static dead, which is a sardine mounted on size 8 semi-barbless trebles. So the only interest has been on the one further out, which I was surprised with. I thought the margins would have been more productive, but we'll see how it goes. If that static dead that's ledgered out there gets some more activity, I shall change over one of the other rods and go out further with that as well. But at the moment, at least we've had a bit of encouragement. Glorious morning. Let's catch some fish. Well, it's midday, as you can see. It's very foggy. All of a sudden, bright sunshine conditions have disappeared and the fog's moved in, which I ain't too bothered about. The only problem is I'll only have about 3 hours of fishing left, really. I mean, the drive in this morning was diabolical, not because of the ice and the frost. The roads were well gritted. It's the visibility. I drive down the A17 and it is, you know, it's always full of lorries and vans, and they're throwing up spray, and it's not just clean spray, it's black spray, you know what I mean? And of course the nozzles on your screen washers they're all iced up, so you can't actually clean your windscreen, and visibility is virtually zero. I had to pull in 6 times on the way in this morning just to clean the windscreen by hand in a lay-by. So I'm gonna have to head off home while it's still light, which is a shame. I've not had any interest other than that little snatch at the smelt on static dead on the ledgered rod in the middle. So I've put a roach on there now to edge me bets between zander and pike with that rod. So far nothing. You know, it's a brilliant day, really. You know what I mean? The sun was shining earlier. It really felt quite warm. As soon as that fog came in, it feels a lot colder. It was like a completely different day. And I say, the pike are not going to be very active. You know, you've got to land a bait on their nose virtually in these types of conditions, which is not bad. If you move your baits every 20 minutes, half hour, you may. Keeping warm wise this time of year, half hour, you know, I mean, it's not, I'm not telling anyone they don't already know. I have my thermal base layers on, and then depending on the temperature, like today, it was in the, you know, it's minus. We're not going to get much over 0 all day. So on top of my thermal base layer, I have a pair of jogging bottoms, a thick pair of jogging bottoms. If it's going to be 5, 6, 7 degrees, then I have a thin pair of jogging bottoms. Long sleeve top, hoodie, fleece, and I've got my salopettes on as always. I like to keep my back, chill off my back. There's no draft in there, plus it's a waterproof layer. And you know, I could sit out in this no problem all day, all night. It's very comfortable. Thermal boots on. Just need a fish to get the old adrenaline pumping and the blood racing through the veins, don't we? At the moment, nothing. As I say, I've only got 3 hours left. I'm going to have to head off before it gets dark. I don't want to get stuck. It's very strange, you know, you get all that black spray on your windscreen, and it's not too bad if there's nothing else on the road. You can see quite well. It's when you've got things coming towards you, street lighting, the light going through all that horrible black specks, and yeah, visibility's impossible. So no fish is worth dying for. So got a couple of hours yet, We may turn it around, we may not, but you've got to be in it to win it. You can't catch at home. We've come out, we've got flooded conditions in Lincolnshire, so I avoided them. Come over this way. A few of the drains have got lids on, so I wasn't really left with a great deal of options venue wise. So we're on the Great Ouse, but at the moment no cigar. But as I say, we've still got 3 hours. Let's crack on. You can see that sun blocked out. First time today I can feel a bit of a breeze on my face. Nothing's happened today though. Well, we're almost done. It's I've got about half hour, 40 minutes left. Just had my final recast. The way I look at these sessions is I can either sit in the house and do nothing. If I ain't got a day, you know, if I'm not at work, what am I going to do? If I don't come out, I never know. You never know, you know what I mean? I mean, the first cast could have been a 20, could have been a 30. You never can tell. Could have been a jack. But if you don't go out, you're not going to catch, are you? So I look at these sessions as like air miles. They're under the belt. They're put in the bank for a later date. Gives you a bit of knowledge of the water. Gives you a chance to have a look at the swims. You know, all sorts. So even though it's could well be another blank, it's still good hours put in, time served, you know. The only real drawback I had about today was for the first time in 50 years, a kingfisher landed on me rod. I was trying to sneak my camera out slowly, which I did, and I got it in focus, just about to press record, and a boy racer come past with more holes in his exhaust than anything. Pop, 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 bang. Kingfisher was away. So I was a bit gutted about that, but we've had one tentative run, and it weren't a great run this morning. It was like beep, 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 beep. You know, it was something there, something playing with it, but that's all it was. And we've had a few beeps on the centre rod, but nothing you could strike at or hope that it would develop into a run. It's just been single bleeps all day, which could be debris, you know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily mean it's a fish doing that. But so looks like the pike have won, but it ain't over. You know, it's another tough day, but I enjoyed it again. I mean, it's very rarely I go and absolutely hate it and can't stand the day. You know, I mean, it's a venue I don't fish enough. It's a venue that I should put more hours in, really. It's just that it's so far from home. It's you know, January, you get here at 8 for first light, you know, and you're packing up at 4 because it's dark. You know, it's only an 8-hour day for a 3-hour round trip. So, but I'm glad I came. I just had a recast. I've got my baits in position. I've had a swap around, as I said before. I've got my static dead on the left hand side now. I've got my paternoster smelt on the right and the static dead ledgered roach in the middle. But you know, yeah, I've not had anything. I don't want to sit here till it gets dark because I've got problems with the old visibility. The spray coming up off the roads and the lorries it's not like ordinary spray. So they say it's jet black and you can't clean your windscreen properly, and it was a bit airy in places coming in this morning. So I'm going to set off at 3 so I can get home before it gets dark at 4:30. So it's yeah, if you watch this, I really do appreciate all the views, whether we're catching big uns or whether we're blanking. That's real life fishing. That's what I do, it's fishing for pleasure. It's my weekly fishing vlog. It's not It's not a tutorial channel, it's not a, you know, it's not a all singing or dancing professional outfit with cameramen that are there to film for me. I don't get places pre-baited for me. I don't turn up and have the place to myself. I'm just like you all out there. I go fishing on my days off, if I can, if I'm allowed, and I try and catch fish. Normally I do, but looks like on today's outing, maybe not. But you never can tell, it ain't over. Morning troops, another day, another river. I've already had 2 comments from walkers. 1, you're a nutter, and 2, you're hardcore. I'm neither. What it is, we didn't catch yesterday, did we? You know, that was 2 blanks on the trot. So I would have been out this morning anyway. I've got a spare couple of hours before the rest of the household get up. This is on my doorstep, literally 2 minutes from my house. So a couple of hours piking. Home for a nice hot breakfast about 10:30, 11 o'clock. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Now it is cold. It was supposed to have been the mildest night of the week last night, but it weren't. It dropped right down to -6. By the time I got out here, it was a -3.5. So it's a real hard frost. But the water's flowing. You know, it's got a nice pace to it. It's not deep. It's only, what is it? Same level as I was fishing it in September for roach, so it's 18 inches deep. We've got 2 rods out, we've got 2 static deads. Ain't going to get paternoster rigging in these conditions, in these depths. So we've got a static dead on the leisure, the right hand rod, which is a single circle hook with a small roach on it. And the left hand rod we've got a static dead, which is a smelt, and they're mounted on size 8 semi-barbless treblers. We've got the rods in. I thought it was going to be really sunny. All of a sudden the cloud has moved in, which I don't mind. You know, there's a nice bit of cloud cover there, so hopefully we'll nab ourselves a pike. Obviously with this water it's flowing very hard, so you've got to find yourself a bit of slack water. So I'm going to reposition my left hand rod after about 15-20 minutes and put it further upstream. I know there's some slack and deeper water, slightly deeper water there. I'll put that in there. The right hand rod, as you can see from the swim, I'll show you, there's some overhanging trees all on the far bank, so I shall be targeting that area with the other rod. There's a long glide there as well. There's a reed bed on the right hand side, so I've got slack water both left and right. Let's hope there's some pike around. Should have brought, I should have brought my floating rod and done a bit of trotting. I think I wouldn't mind catching a nice big roach in the winter along here, but we're out piking. We don't want 3 blanks in a row. We've had 2, both in Norfolk. We're back in God's county, Lincolnshire. see if it's kind to me. Let's crack on. There you can see the overhanging trees on the far bank. So I've got a long glide. I can position that bait anywhere along there. Also, that right hand side, there's a reed. You can see the reed bed that's died down. So there's a long reed bed along there. So I can always tuck in next to that. So there's two options: far bank, near bank. I could also go mid water. It's no problem holding bottom, but I'm not sure the pike would necessarily be in the fast water. Here you can see me float. It's over there, just in that bend. What happens is the water comes around and pushes into there. Over on the far bank, it pushes into that little gap. As I've had a lot of chub out of that little gap down there. It's a bit fast at the moment. There's some slack water there where that point is, but that is very, very shallow, and I mean shallow. So I probably won't be putting anything there. That's only about 6 inches deep there. I can't see any pike being there, but you never know. I might just fish just off it. I've got that option. And you see where a long bit of frozen grass or reed is pointing upwards, just about there. There's another old reed bed that's died down, and there's slightly deeper water, slightly slacker water down there. So we've got options. But at the moment, boy, glorious morning, isn't it? Won't exactly be a snow pike if we catch one, but it's a fantastic morning for a bit of pike fishing. As I say, I'm only here for a couple of hours. I haven't brought any hot drinks or anything like that with me. Hopefully it's going to be a quick smash and grab. Well, looks like the gamble has probably not paid off. But got about half hour to go, I reckon. And I promise I'll be home very early, so I'm going to stick it out for another half hour. I'm down at the shallower end of the stretch. I mean, if I go further up, it's a bit more water. They tend to get a lot more busy. So come down here, we're far from the madding crowd, but it hasn't paid off. I've had a few beeps on the alleged roach, but chances are it's probably debris rather than any action. Nothing developed anyway, even if it was. So it's been a very quiet morning, very enjoyable morning. Could this be the third blank on the bounce? I hope not, I really do, but that's the way it goes. You know what I mean? It's gonna, milder weather's due to come in next week, so hopefully we'll get some decent pike weather, get some sessions under our belt. But at the moment, a hard grind, hard slog, freezing cold, January, and we ain't had a pike yet. But it's early, well early, got half hour. Let's crack on, let's catch something.